Boom, 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 boom. Ah. Hello, Shane. How are you? Just doing a test here. Messing about a little bit. Boom, 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 boom. Currently watching Bitcoin. Never mind. How's it going? Live. Does this thing work? Good stuff. Okay. Today's news, eh? How do? Finny as well. Finn. Well done, my kid. Well done. I was so proud to see you with your next payout. It's been a journey, kid. It's been an absolute journey. That's it. Up, bear with me. Doors come. Perfect. Oh, don't know what that is. Happy days. Oh, bloody hell, they're all in. That's knackered now. Right, okay. Well, wasn't really going to be doing Q&A, but I might as well. Oh, here's a second, boys and girls. I'm knackered. Having 3 floors is no good. Right, first of all, this is for kind of miss you. I don't do percentage risk. I think that's stupid. Give you an idea. I'm on doing Bitcoin now. It'll run from there up to there. Gets below that line, I'm knackered. Be about 15 quid. So I work in money, not percentage. I hope that makes sense. How would I put this? If I said to you, what's 2% of your account, the chances are you don't know. But if I said to you, what's 50 quid against your account, and you're £500, you'll go, oh, don't fancy that. That might be too much. So that's already telling you your risk, if that's what you want to call it, is out of whack. I risk nothing. I invest. So I'll look to invest, say, 50 quid to gain X amount. And that's it. There's a big argument about risk reward, all of this. Personally, I think it's all a load of horseshit when you're dealing with day trading. And if you're scalping, you can't have risk reward on it at all. You're always inversed. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So let's have a little look. Today's news. Planning to buy a prop challenge of 5k. There's only one company that I support, if you call it support, it is the fivers. And it's for no other reason that they have what I would call a moral compass. I know them personally, and they genuinely have your interests at heart. The rest of them, well, I've got no real time for the rest of them, to be honest. So there you go. Happy days, happy days. What a shock. Haircut, wake up. What are we doing? Right. Give you an idea. Jet, I'm just testing something. I'm just seeing if I can get it to work. It just so happens a lot of people have jumped in, so hi. Give an idea. I'm just about to mark this up. I'm actually about to kill this off as we speak, and I'll kind of show you why. Let me pull this up. I'm looking to achieve 721 a day on this. I've already been into it, so I'm quite happy with that. Pull this up. Look to see where the costs are. Right, bang, bang. Right, that's the money out. That's my day done. There is £8.5 when all I wanted was 721. So these were long trades. So I'll just turn them around. Add that in. One of them was 50p. Take that out. We were long on each of these. Long. And I was looking for the return snap. The return snap was what I'll show you what that is in just a second. Now I'll just drop the figures into this. So just so you can see it. Right, so the one at 50p was 234, 166. Okay, so there's the day done. I operate it from these sort of sheets, keeps me in check, so we can see exactly what's going on at any one time. I'll break the position up. I could go up to, well, I can go to 127 on this if I want, but all I need to do is just stage into it there, and it builds up. So I have done more than what I needed for today. And then if you look at the summary, that's what we've been doing, and it all ends up in here. Okay, so happy days. So that's it done. Why did I pull it at this point? Very simple. I'm monitoring a 15-minute chart, and it's bouncing on the first bounce point, which happens to be that Bollinger. If it pulls back, I'll re-enter the market and then go back up to here. But it's all within a framework that I'm quite happy with, which is from up here down to there, and then I'm following the levels in. Very, very simple process, and it works all the time. So there we go. Happy days. So hope that one kind of helps. Haircut, 1 minute chart, 200 lots. What am I going to do with you? Right, hey guys, so I've got a question related to madness. So you execute 15 minutes, or the stop would be 4 hours. These are the sort of things that's for the squad only. My money's made from madness. All I'll say is it's dollar cost averaging from 2 fixed points, and away you go. It's one of those things. It's not something you can answer very quickly. You've got to see it in action, and it's only ever shown for the squad. You've just got in. Amazing. I'm absolutely shocked. Tell me it's on a... well, with you it will be. 1 minute chart. Are you using the river haircut? Or are you putting on Kylie's? Paul, yes, most definitely trade-off. Give you a case in point, because I'm going to close this down a second. Just flick that over. Let's just take all of these levels off for now. All right. Everything. Right. So you're looking at a 15-minute time frame here. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, where's the price? Where's the price? Well, let's take rid of this Bollinger Band as well, just so I can have an absolute clean chart. Right? Well, your price is here where that line is. Okay? That's where the price is at this moment in time. Okay? Go out to a daily. Price is in exactly the same place, Paul. Exactly the same. So now what I'm doing is, I'm now having to figure out where that price will go in relation to what I'm looking at right now. Well, you can see, without question, two key points. You've got a definitive high up here, and you've got a definitive low up here. So you can technically frame the chart like so. Nice and simple. And this is quite a rough way of doing things. Now you've got to decide, is that price going to go to that area or this area? Right? So you're breaking it down on a daily chart. So tighten it up. So how do you tighten it up? Look for the last two swing points. Well, you've got one here and you've got another one there. So you can tighten your range up, which is there and there. Now, which one is it more feasible to go to? Is it going to come to this one or is it come to that one? They're the closest in reality to the price. Well, that's where your indicators start coming into play. Well, you can see there's a downward push and the price is in the lower half of these 2 points. So is that a piece of information that could tell you that it's going short? Possible, possible. So what else could you do? You can put on the Bollinger Band that we've just been looking at. Now the Bollinger Band, it has its moving average in it. It can show you strength, etc. What have we got now? Well, this price that we're looking at is now sitting below moving average. It's coming from a high time frame, which was moving up, and the Bollinger Band is collapsing in, showing you there's no strength. So you've now got a lot of things telling you this is going short. So there's your target. All you've got to do is now decide whereabouts am I going to get in and how am I going to get into it. Well, that. You can put on a fib. Started there, got up as high as there. What do we know? Well. The price is at a 50% injunction. Comes down. Target's near the 61. Yeah, that breaks through that 50. I'm going to sell this and I'm going to sell it down into there. And it's going to take it maybe, well, if you look at the trajectory, maybe 1, 2, might take it 2 days to get there. But that is a high probability of where it's going. So there's a daily chart broken down, and all you're doing is putting little elements of information together. We've got 2 highs as an outer extreme, a high and a low rather as an outer extreme, a high and a low as a tightened range, and then you look to see what the price is in relation to that, and then look to see where a possible bounce point is. Well, we know that it's a 61, a 50, a 38. It's a fair bet. And if you look at this, the way this is moved up, and if I transpose this down into a lower time frame, so all I need to do is I'll just shift these into place and I'll show you something. 50 in the right place. Over there. A little bit extra. Under there. Right. Take that away. Drop that down into a 15-minute for when you're looking at it, even though you've been looking at it daily. There you go. There's your chart nicely mapped out. You can now trade from that level to that level. Dead simple. To me, that's how I build charts up. I build them up like that all the time. It's a little bit harder than that, but that's the crux of it. You're just looking for key points of attraction, and then you just want as many ducks in your row as you can, you know. And the more ducks you have in a row, is the RSI going down? Is it Bollinger going down? Is it collapsing? Is it by a level? Have you got a fib? Is the price in general by a visual check going down? Put all of these together and then let it do its thing. Don't try and sort of second guess the chart, shall we say. Trade what you see. So there you go. So from Shropshire, happy days to you, friend. And Luke Young, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Did a Kylie on the sell last night on gold. Yeah, gold's an odd one at the moment. It's mega high, and it could easily push up. It really could. But it's saturated like hell, so it's a bit dangerous at the moment, kid. It's a bit dangerous. You're very welcome, Paul. Very welcome. Okay. So like I say, I'm just testing with these sort of things, see what's going on. Low size, well done. Well done, boy. You're so right. See, that raises a question. It's a little bit like earlier on, where Micho was asking about sort of risk per trade and everything like that. I find those questions quite odd because it all comes from the YouTube sort of criteria of, you got to do this and you got to do that and you make a gazillion. Well, if that's the case, why aren't you making any money? The only way you can make money is actually be sensible, and low size is part of it. If you size relatively small to the size of the account, you can weather storms and just build gently. That's what the Vanguard series is all about. And from there, you've seen little acorns, and it's done really well. Sorry, I don't quite understand the question there. Is it excavator? So what's your execution time after the session starts? Don't fully understand. There's no set time. You trade the market as you see it. If I start work at 6:30 in the morning, some days the guys have seen me not start trading till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've just watched the screen. This idea of, I'm here, give me a trade. I'm here. Why aren't you ready? Give me a trade, and then you chase the market. No. It don't work like that. You've just got to follow a plan and then go into the market when you're comfortable. There's no real execution time when the session starts. The best time is the first 3 hours. I'll give it that. There is a lot of volatility, and you can normally get into it, and you're fine. But sometimes like oil. The other day, I broke oil down, and it sat there for 2 days. Didn't do anything. Just went and so I didn't get an opportunity on it. So in that case, there was no execution time. Anyway, Trump definitely causing volatility. To a degree. There's a lot of noise kicking around, but this was to be expected anyway. And the market's ATRs and things like that are not really changing that much. There's spikes, but there's spikes every day anyway. I wouldn't get too hung up on news trading unless it's something you know is coming. You can't plan for it. And the only way you can plan for it, keep your sizes relatively low. And then if it does come out of the blue and you don't expect it, at least you can ride it out or kill it at minimal losses. After a night's call is good. Yeah, you're not wrong. I do like the night calls we do. I prefer them to the morning ones, I must admit. Happy days, happy days. Let's have a coffee while somebody types something else in. Let's say the London session starts and the price moves down, so the price will continue to move down. Will it? On what basis? Often you'll find when the London session starts, the price will go the wrong way before it goes the right way. And the easiest way to look at this is very simple. You look at the overall trend, not what's going on in the moment. There are three trends in the market. You've got a deep trend, you've got the dominant direction, which is of the day, and the now trend. Three of them. Okay. Now, if you're taking that sort of viewpoint, you cannot look at the now trend. The now trend will cripple you every time, because the chances are it's going to be looking at either the dominant or the deep. Now, the now could be pulling up while those two are going down. So what it's telling you to do is wait. You trade what you see, not what you think. And it always comes from the higher time frames. This narrative of just getting in on minute charts and sort of watching a 15-minute chart for your direction, to me, it's ludicrous. It's good for entertainment and looking on the screen, but it's not really very good for making money. Happy Sheldon. Wow. Just along the road. Happy days, Alex. Well done. Hello, Raymond. Morning, happy weekend. It is a happy weekend. Well, it isn't really. Winky's gone shopping, so that means I am bollocks. What's the name of my broker? I use two. Well, I use a few actually. But IG is my web trader. Black Bull is my MT5. But I also have Darwin X and I have Fivers as well. Happy days. Happy days. So there you go. The broker that you're just looking at now is Black Bull. But that raises a good question, because people ask me why I use Black Bull when I'm in the UK. It's very simple. In the UK, we under 𝗖𝗧 rules, which means we have limited leverage. Now, that means on most products, it's like 1 in 30. With Black Bull, I can have 1 in 500 because it's still a good regulated broker. It's got a heavy license. My money's protected. Because it's outside of Europe, I can have 500 to 1. But I only use the leverage to open up a position, not increase the position size. Big difference. Because if you want to trade pound JPY, which I do, it's very expensive on the margin front. And if you've only got a couple £100 and you're on 1 in 30, you can't afford it. But with a bigger leverage, you can. So I can still open up a 20p position, because that's all I want to open. If I'm starting with a couple £100, it allows me to do it. All right. And that's why. But also I use it because I wanted an MT5 platform so I could mirror prop funds. And I work it that way to do me quite well. So happy days. Happy days. You couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep last night either. I was making videos late last night. With it being the last day, I did the update of Vanguard. It's doing really well. I'm really chuffed with it. 4.5 grand, and we 1,600 into it in the first month. So I'm quite happy with that. Bladen, wow, the Northern boys are in today, aren't we? Well, good morning, AW. The Northern boys are definitely in today. Right. How much total funding of prop firm do you have? Well, that's for me to know and you not to know. You should never ask anybody what their account details are. And for me, and you're part of the group, you know that's one of the rules. All I'll say is it's sizable. And you see it as and when. just want to thank you for YouTube. That's very kind of you, Shane. It's very kind of you at all. SB. There's a name I haven't seen for a while. How do you do, kid? Well, it's all gone quiet. Happy days. Happy days. I'll have a coffee. Have a coffee. I do. With the fivers, there is 3 programs, and the hypergrowth is 1 step, just past the first evaluation and away you go, which I think is, if you've got the skill set, that's the way to go. You've then got the high stakes. It's okay. The problem I have with it is the rules that's inside it, where you've got to do 0.5% for 3 days to get to the next stage, and then for sort of your steps up the ladder. What happens there is, in the early stages it's quite easy, but as you go up the ladder it becomes a lot harder. So I'm not too keen on that. And then of course you've got the boot camp, which is very good for training wheels. But you've got to pass 3 evaluations to get through it. You've got to put in your mandatory 2% stop loss, which I don't know. When it comes to trading, I'm not a big fan of prop, and I've kind of stepped myself back away from it a little bit. I still do it because well, those in the group know I've got an NDA with the fivers, you know, non-disclosure for the funds that I trade. Now, that's because I've gone through the series. All right. Now, I prefer my own funds, which is why I love the small accounts, because it's tangible, it's yours. And what it means with that is, how do I put this? Right, you've just been watching that black bull, and I know there's going to be people here going, do you know something? It's only £8. Well, work this out. If I did £8 a day, right? So 8 times 5, right? That's 40 quid, right? So that's a week. Times 52. If I did it every week, that's 2,000 quid. Now, if you're on a 20 grand a year salary, and somebody said to you, oh, I'm going to give you a 10% pay rise, you'd be jumping through the tulips. You'd be as happy as Larry. Well, that £8 is just give you that 10% pay rise on 20 grand. But in the trading world, because everybody's like, oh no, you've got to make a fortune, they laugh at it. Well, who's laughing? The guy who has 2 grand at the end of the year and's been able to take his family on holiday, or the wannabe who just dreams. So that's kind of the way I look at it. It's why I love the small account, because it brings something into reality. But it's only reality when you bank it. And that's why I put the money in the Vanguard. And the Vanguard is a representation of what my trading funds are, because that's where I put my money. So in answer to the question earlier on, how much are your trading accounts? Well, look at the Vanguard and you'll see. So there we go. Right, where are we at? I nearly got off on one there. Right, that was quite odd, that, because it started with hypergrowth, and how did I get into that one? Or maybe I'm getting old, maybe I'm losing me plot. I'm happy with the same. Ultimately, YouTube, I'm not a teacher. I don't want to be a teacher. I never want. It's what is it they say? Well, I'm just a guy doing the job. I don't want the responsibility of other people's accounts and all that sort of thing. And the group was born out organically to where it is today. So yeah. So I'm glad it helps. I really do. It's just an idiot on a camera, to be honest. Happy days. I passed my first FTMO challenge using your strategy. Watched all your free videos. Well, thank you very much. In that sense, it's your strategy, because what I show on camera is only a fraction of what I actually do. So I'll take my hat off to you, because if you've passed that, I'd like to think that it's give you a little bit of encouragement, but it's your strategy, my friend, and well done to you. Well done. Well, confidence is a big thing. If you size appropriately, that'll build your confidence as well. Happy days. I've had a few days losing streak on stage 2, and I'm taking a break. Oh, right, okay. Let's see if I can put that one into perspective. This kind of highlights some of the issues of the prop industry. If you are worried about the stages, there's a problem not with the prop fund, it's yourself. I was asked this question the other day. I did an interview with a couple of guys, and kind of the blood drained out of their face when they asked me things, and I was sort of told them the way I see it. They were saying that prop trading makes you a better trader. I don't think it does. I think you should have those skills to start with. So it all comes down to controlling your position size, controlling what you're going to invest in the market, control what you're going to take out of the market. All these different elements. It doesn't matter whether it's your account or a prop account. The trade should be identical. When you start chasing around, oh, I've got to push the boat out to get to the finish line. Are you trading or are you gambling? And that's where it becomes a problem, and you put untold stress on yourself. Just step it back. Now, one of the beauties, and I lobbied for this for a long time, and the Fivers went with it, was that when prop first came out, they all had time limits. You had to do 10% in a month. Now, if you do 20% in a year in the trading world, you're a rock star. You genuinely are a rock star. You know, you look at all the high hedge funds, they're only 20, 22%, you know, and exceptional ones, maybe it's up to 25. My Vanguard, I like to think I'm reasonably good at it. It's running between 20 and 29, but it's up and down like a who is scared, you know, but it's normally around 20% for the year. That's consistent. If you start looking to do 50 and 100%, you can do it on small accounts, but you can't do it on big accounts. If that's the case, you'd all be making a fortune from the bank. Just a thought, just a thought. Morning, James. See you fixed your car wing mirror. Well done. £10 a day is more than enough to pay you a decent. It depends on what you want, but if you're doing 10 quid a day, it's 50 quid a week, go on 4 weeks, you know, 200 quid, work it on 10 months, so you've got time off and opportunity to be wrong. There's a couple of grand. It's not bad, is it? You know, it doesn't take long to start building up pots. It really doesn't. Never ask a trader his account size or a woman their age. Well, that's the age-old thing. You never ask somebody what their wages are. I'm old school. See, I'm 55 in April. I feel it now. It was just one of those things that you never ask. Hi from Cheshire. Love your videos. The prop trading profits. Is it taxed as an income, or do you use a limited company? Right. Prop is under the CFD banner. So if it's under a CFD banner, it is therefore taxable. Now, you are correct. You can funnel it through a limited company and take the tax breaks thereas and sign yourself up as what's called a contractor. Now, if you are trading for a living and you pay your mortgage from your trading profits, doesn't matter whether it's spread betting or CFD, the tax man's going to come looking for you. Spread bet is only under the gambling banner of tax-free as long as they think that you're losing. But the moment it becomes a job, it's just like a professional poker player. They have to register it as a business and a contractor if that's where their wages are coming from. It's quite a grey area, and it works different from district to district. But if it's your sole income, they're going to come looking for it. But prop, whether you like it or not, is CFD and it's taxable. But on the flip side of the coin, that means you can claim your losses as well. So if you lose a lot and you register it, you can claim those losses against your tax as well. Okay. What do you think about the Fivers play out visa interruption? There are months just now. Usually management takes time, weekend obviously. Well, I don't use the Visa card payout, so I wouldn't like to say, but I can ask them and find out for you. Just drop me an email and I'll have a quick chat with Toma and Sol and see what they have to say about it. I just use the Rise and Wise payout system. I find it very easy. Good morning, beautiful. And how are you, gorgeous? Do you still love me? Yeah, you're not wrong. It's bloody horrible here in Durham. I don't know how it was down your way, but there was a house had its side wall blown off in the storm. I'll get a picture of it. I'll put it in the group. I didn't think it was feasible, but bloody hell. The damage up here was unbelievable. Wiped our village out for, well, the electric went out on the Friday. I went to a hotel and it was still off on the Sunday. What coffee do you drink? Nescafe. Yes, Nescafe. I know it's a sin, and I know people sort of go, oh, it's not proper coffee, but I just like it. Here it is here. And as you see, I've got 3 cups here. I've always got it on tap. I just like it, Nescafe. But I do have a partial for going and getting a latte in Starbucks as well. Mellow bird. And you call me old, you baldy fuck. Fucking mellow birds. Where the hell do you shop? Christ almighty, you've never heard of Sainsbury's? You know, that's a blast from the past. So, do you know what's some fucking haircut? I hate you at times. I genuinely do. I've got a grip big, well, in fact, I've got 2. I've got central heating up in here, and it's still fecking cold, so I've got an oil heater as well. So you can take that. Is it? This is from you lot. I thought it was from Winky. Sunburned a day. What? What now? Ah! Oh wow! Holy shit! Oh Finn, thanks! Oh you guys, I know we've had a rough time of things, but fuck me! How cool is... Alright, where the fuck can this go? Oh, fuck me. Oh, wow. I'm not rightly sure where I put it, but there is a big space up there. Wow, superb, that. Look at that, guys. It's me and Winky. I shouldn't say that, actually. She'll watch this and kill us. I've got Princess Leia up there, over there somewhere. There it is up on the Don't know whether you can see it. Oh no. You see it? There it is there. Up on the top. Princess Leia with no clothes on. Yeah, I love that one. Oh, that's... Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you. Fucking shit. Holy crap. I'll put that there. Oh, it's made my day, that. Fucking hell. Thank you very much. You can't afford Sainsbury's. Well, pull your fucking finger out and do more deliveries. Take another drown on. Hello, Marcel. Mornings from work. Yeah, it's morning from work is me, you know. Started off just doing a test run and then here we are. But hey ho, hey ho. Never mind, never mind. So, happy days, happy days. Okay, so. I'm very well. Good morning, traders. Hope you have a great day and thank you for the videos. You're more than welcome, Gunnar. More than welcome. Oh, fuck, he's here. Don't worry, Foley. I was just killing time till you got here, son. Oh, dear me, dear me. Right. Let's have a quick look, shall we? See what the situation is. So, it is awesome. It is. That's actually pretty darn good to bring up, Gunnar, to be honest. Baby pips. You don't really need to buy any courses or anything like that, because baby pips will give you the foundation that you need. It genuinely will. Once you get your heads in relation, you're fine. Indicator wise, most people look for the magical indicators, and if you read through that baby pips thing, it's really about price and how it reacts on levels, etc. Now, the way I trade is exactly that. It's all about the levels. And then it's just working from one level to the next level based on putting ducks in a row and having a general direction. Because if you get the direction right, it'll forgive the entry. But if you're constantly looking for the in, you'll find you're often on the wrong side of the trade, because the markets, they push up, they push down, and you never actually know where the entry point is. But what you will know is where the direction is, you know. And if you've got that direction right, don't half make things a lot easier. And then it's just a case of managing it. I mean, I was asked earlier on about madness, which is actually how I do make my money. The madness capitalizes on that, because the chances of you getting in at the exact point is pretty slim. So capitalizes on it moving against you before it moves for you. Couple that with trading small and building into the trade. That means it reduces the exposure, increases the upside. And when I've done the maths and what have you, you can have a trader that goes 100% to market and they've got nowhere to go. They've got to ride it out till the end. But if you staged in, trade calm as a cucumber, doesn't bother at all. And then from there, you've got options to switch off, add extras in, and etc., etc. So there you go. What else? Thank you. No, you're very welcome, Philip. Do I check the Dixie or the JP basket? Not quite. Are you? Well, bear with me a second. Christ. I've lost it. I'm not very technical at times, boys and girls. This is where I start. Just open that up. It's a window of the world. So I don't look at baskets in the way that you look. I look at correlations. So these two here, this is just something I keep half an eye on because it's a world driver. The S&P 500, which is in top corner, is the driver for these two, which is the FTSE and the DAX, which are the main ones that I track. So whatever this is doing, this one will follow suit. Then you've got correlations from gold, which will be attracted by the dollar. So you've got the dollar moving up, gold was moving down in this point. Well, if dollar's moving up, it's naturally going to put pressure on the euro, and that's going to push that down, and it'll put pressure on the pound, and that'll push that down. Now, if I'm looking at the pound, for argument's sake, and I want to get a correlation of what's going on with that, rather than looking at these baskets and the Dixie's doing this and all this sort of stuff, no, I'll just look to see what the pound is doing in relation to all of the other baskets. So these are the main pound pairs. If I'm only trading this, I'll look to see what it's doing in each one of these on the same time frame, and it'll give me an idea of strength as to what's going on. So I do it that way. But then on top of that, I also have the strength sheet where I work out what the particular strength of each single currency is and what relationship that has to its pair. So in argument's sake, let me just show you. Give me a second. Got to find the bugger. Because as normal, I wasn't planning on doing anything like this, but got a big gob, so in I come. So I'll just pull that across to here. Switch bias tool off. Right, okay. So I'll work this out. Okay. Now what this does for me, it tells me what the relationship is. So if I'm looking at pound US, I can see when it was yesterday, and if you saw the video, you'll have seen me trading this thing. They were sitting on top of each other. Okay. So the movement wasn't going to be massive, but I needed to see what the change of strength was. Well, the change of strength, the pound was worse than the dollar, so that added weight as to why I was going to be selling it. And that's what I do. I do it all the time. It just helps me. It helps me amazingly. And then once I've decided on the asset that I'm going to trade, I couldn't give a toss about what anything else is happening. I trade what I see. The chart will show me what I need to know. Hope that helps. Do you think 10% profit per year is decent for a side job? Yes, of course. When you're a trader, the idea of you're going to make a gazillion, you need to get that out of your head. All right. At the end of the day, it's a business, and it takes money to make money. So if you're doing 10% and you've got 100 quid, you get £10. You think, yeah, £10 is nothing, but it's 10% growth. But what if you're only trading on pennies? Then £10 is massive. If you've got 100,000 and you get 10,000, you would think that's outstanding. But it's no different. The difference is the guy with 100 quid worked a damn sight harder than the one with 100,000. So the small account is better than the big account from that point of view, because the pressure's away from it. Okay? So there's nothing wrong. But the first rule is whatever the bank is giving you, you want to outperform it. So if the bank's giving you 2% a year, rule of thumb is you want to do that per month. And then from there, you're normally onto a good stead. And that's a good benchmark to work to. So whatever the bank's doing, you do that per month. And you'll not be too far off where you need to be. Okay? Because otherwise, you might as well just put your money in the bank. Let them do the heavy lifting. Okay. So where are we up to? Switzerland. Oh, we are getting international. How do you do, my friend? My way since last year. Profitable trade closes 40% gain. Wow, really good. I just tell it the way I see it, because I'm not really interested in selling anything, and it doesn't bother me. It's just something I enjoy doing. That's it. But I do get a lot of people kicking into me all the time, and if you think I'm going to help them, there's not a hope in hell. Not a hope in hell. So, happy days. Morning, Albert's dad. How are you, my friend? It's named Guna. Is stop loss a must, and until when, please? Right. Yes and no. If you are frightened of your trades, you definitely have a hard stop. Regardless, you have a hard stop. But what you must have, I call it box of pain. All right? Yeah, you'll have somewhere on your chart that is, how do I put it? It's an area of the chart where you can't allow it to go any further. All right, you're wrong, you get out. Now, if you're mentally stable enough to do it, you don't need your stop loss. You just know goes into that box, you're wrong, manage out of it, get out of it. I'm like that all the time. I do it all the time. Okay, and from there, you start building up confidence. Okay, now the way I do it is, and it kind of goes back to the start of all of this, percentage risk and everything. I don't work on percentage risk. I don't particularly like it because it doesn't mean anything to me, but a pound note does. So if I know I'm getting in at X point, I'll know roughly where I'm going to get out, and I'm not measuring it on a pip count. I'm not measuring it on sort of percentage risk, as in that case. I'll look at 2 points of the market where I think it's going to test. So it's definitely going to test a level, and it's probably going to test a swing point. If it goes through both of them, and I'm talking on a 15-minute chart or an hourly chart, not a 5-minute, I'm probably wrong, and the market's on a turn. I've got to get out. So I know roughly what the distance is. Now, position size wise, well, that might be 10 pips, but it might also be 100 pips, depending on how far the market has to move. All right. Well, in that case, if we say it's 100 pips, just to keep the numbers easy, and I'm a pound a point, okay, because I've got £1,000 per pound, because I work on a pound a thousand for position size, and then when it gets high, I cap it. All right. So say we've got £1,000 account. It's 100 points away, or 100 pips, depending on what you want to call it. And you're a pound a point. Well, that's going to cost you 100 quid. Now it's real. Do you want to put £100 against 1,000? Don't know. It makes me ask a question. You know, is it worth it? Well, the answer is no, it's not. So I'll say, well, what if I half it? So that's 50p a position. Well, that's now going to cost me 50 quid. Oh, it's going to sting a bit, but it's not going to kill it. All right, I'll do 50p. Right, so I've now created my maximum position size, which is 50p. But do I want to pay it? Not really. I'm a businessman, and I've done that for quite a long time. I want a discount. Well, that's what DCA does. As I stage into that 100 pips, it's reducing the exposure, because the first one's the most expensive, but the fifth one, because it's right down near the point where I'm going to get out, costs next to nothing. So I actually have a discount. And that's how I work all of this out. So it's not necessarily a stop. It's just a point on the chart where that's it. I'm wrong. I've got to get out. But you stop. And this is why I don't like risk reward either. I find risk reward the strangest thing in the world. If you are in business and you somebody says, right, we're going to invest, or you're going to invest in a business, you give them 50,000 and they give you 5,000 back, you'll be ecstatic. But not in this game. They do it the other way around. And I'm going to tell you why, because it's a perfect sales pitch as well. You know, oh, you don't have to win them all. You can only win 4 times, but if you've got your risk reward 3 to 1, you're going to get paid. No, what they're telling you is you're shit at your job, but you're still going to get paid. You should know your job. That's why I think if you're trading under 50% win rate, you're no good at this. You're playing a numbers game, you're gambling. You need to be above that. The stop has one job. Protect the account. That's it. It's all it does. So it's not part of the trade. It's just, that's how much I'm willing to put into the market. And if I'm wrong, that's the price I'm going to pay for it. Then whatever you get on the other end, fine. And then you can trade from a point of peace, and you're not chasing round all the time, because you'll force a trade 3 to 1 and you'll just get cut, you'll get cut, you'll get cut, and you'll get cut. And you'll just spin wheels. Told the guys in the group, we were having a chat about this, and I had a guy came to me and he says, all he does, trades 10 pips stop loss, and he's 3 to 1. I was, okay, so why are you not making any money? He goes, well, it's just not quite working. But then in the conversation, I says, well, let's have a look at your accounts and see what you do. He's going, this was a great day. Cut, 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 bang. He was stopped out 6 times in a row. And then he got a 1 in 3. And he thought it was a good day and he won. And when I was explaining, I said, it's a terrible day. And he couldn't understand it. He says, it cost you 60 pips to get 30. So your net loss is 30. It's a terrible day. If you'd madnessed into that, you'd have made money. So to me, risk reward is it's not the best. Anyway, it's getting off on one there. Right, I'll quickly go through these because I've got a bit of work to do. How long before you trust you're not just being jammy? Our question like, how long is a piece of string? The guys in here in the squad will kind of testament to this. I try and get them to be disciplined, I think is the easiest way to say it. And the way to do it is by doing a 30-day challenge. And a 30-day challenge is, it's one asset, lowest position size you can take, 1 trade a day. That's it. And what it'll teach you is whether your strategy is good and whether you're patient, because you've got 1 shot per day. And after 30 days, you should have no more than 30 trades, because some days you might miss a trade, but you can't take 2 trades on 1 day. So no more than 30 trades. If you're positive and you've stuck to that, you pass. You've earned the right to trade. And in your case, you're not being jammy. You've worked your way through it. Now, if you were negative at the end of it, well, then you might have to tweak your strategy if you only took 30 trades. But if you took 33 trades and were positive, you still fail. And the reason being is you had a tendency to overtrade. You were allowed 1 trade per day. It was part of the rules. And the whole process of it is sticking to a rule set, but it also makes you look for the best setups of the day. And if you can do it, you're fine. Now, I've had guys come to me and say, well, if I do it on one account, can I trade another account? Like, no, because it defeats the object. You're still chasing a market. And 30 days for a lifetime is nothing. So that's kind of the way I look at that one. So, keep doing what I'm doing. I'm happy. I live a good life, Sander. I really do. The screen pays me quite well. And I'm quite pleased with that. Bala, dear Scruff, good morning. Can you make it simple? If you have 1,000 to trade and my money is 1 to 100, what is the ideal lot size? Doesn't matter about the leverage. Your lot size is, it's only the size of your account. And I work to £1, 1,000. So if that's a dollar amount, so you've got $1,000, it would be $1 is your maximum size. The leverage just allows you to open up a position. So you've got things like the DAX, that's very expensive. You know, you'll be able to open up your dollar position if you've got the right leverage. That's what it's for. But what you never use leverage for is to say, well, I've got £1,000 and I've got sort of massive leverage. I can open up a full lot. Your account ain't going to last long. Size to what you have. And when it comes to prop funds, you size to the drawdown. Because the drawdown is the account. The rest of it's just buying power. See the video once you finish. Have a coffee. Yeah. Well, my missus is out. She's away off looking for some Ugg boots or something. Costs a fortune, that girl. But she's my best friend. How do you find Trump's random news releases? They haven't really bothered me too much. Because I'm trading what I see, and I've got my set rules in place where I already have a target in place. I'm a targeted trader. I'm not seeing if I can let it run forever. If the market's willing to give us 10 pips, I'll take 10 pips. But I've also got my stops. And my stops are the point where, in this case, if there's a random spike, fine, I'll get out. It stings a bit. I'm not too happy about it, but, well, then you just got to take a clunk. I mean, I dropped 5 grand on on the account the other day. I wasn't very fucking happy about it, but in relation to the account, it was minimal. So it's just one of them things. Can make a video once a week about filling in the buy sheet for the members. I'm trying to do it myself, but never too sure. We do it nearly every Monday night. When we do the live and I'm marking up the charts on a Monday night, I always go through the buy sheet and the elements to it. The MACD is the easiest one. The MACD is just general direction. The Bollinger Band, again, there's 4 states to a Bollinger Band, and you've got to be able to recognize them. But yeah, we'll be back at it again on Monday, and then on a Tuesday when I do the day going forward for, well, and when I'm doing the live Zooms, I never pick the chart, guys. It's always you. And they throw some real curveballs at me, saying, we'll trade this one. And I'm like, oh, fuck. All right? And they've had me trade things that I've never looked at in my life, but a chart's a chart. That means the Bollinger Band is exactly the same because the pressure waves are the same. The MACD will operate the same as general direction. The momentum in the RSI is the same. I've just got to be able to read the condition. So we can do that for you. So next one will be Monday night, kid. And Tuesday's day going forward. Wednesday night is either your chart where you mark it up yourselves and I critique it and try and help. And then I often mark it up the same one you've picked myself, as you've seen. And then on Thursday, it's open Q&A. So keep asking and I'll keep showing. Not to worry. Okay, SB, catch you rest live later. I wouldn't say it's dedication to the craft. I love my job. I genuinely do. I have a love-hate relationship with YouTube, as a lot of people know. But ultimately, the good does outweigh the bad. But what happens in life is, if anybody's ever worked customer service, you never talk about the good customers. You know, you could have 1,000 customers and 999 of them, you wouldn't give them a thought. But the one person who's an arsehole, you'll talk about that one all day. Kind of happens in the YouTube world a little bit. I'm going to try and stop that. I'm going to try and stop giving them oxygen. But when you get death threats and threats against your wife or people, you know that day has come, because that's the day you see me kick off. And anybody ever questions my marriage, which some people have, I don't care who you are, I will never help you. Not in a million words. But people are people, aren't they? But the difference is, I got paid. Did they? No. Anyway, right, off we go. Just a question to challenge. If you have it with madness, does that count towards one trade or multiple? It would, right. I'm assuming what you're talking about well, for me, on my live accounts, it's one trade because I have one single trade idea, and then the broken positions are that trade idea, but managed. If you're in the prop industry, it would probably be counted as multiple trades because it's multiple positions. But then, depending on the type of prop, you need to know whether it's in a hedging prop where it can open up multiple positions in either the single direction or opposite directions. But if it's a netting prop, which they did a few years ago, I did quite well off that one actually, until they shut the program down. You could put 10 positions on, but it would work it out to the average price size and make it into one position size. So that's kind of the way I would look at that. And let's have a quick look. Right, where are we up to? Right, so summarize madness. Well, madness is just two fixed points with a position broken up between those points, and it falls under the banner of DCA. It's something I only show to the squad, and it's where my money's made. So the Popeyes of this world will never know how that works. Right. Smashing the Vanguard. Yeah. Well, think of it this way. I think the 4 years now. I started the small pots with the squad, and it was only a few £100 4 years ago. It's now 106,000, and it's all documented. So when people sort of question about whether a system works, this, that, and the other, once you found something you're comfortable with, just stick with it, but don't swing at it. You know, and the one thing that's proved with that is all these little amounts add up. And because I was able to save the money rather than spend it on a wage, well, over the years, it's built up to be quite a nice little pot. Now, in fairness to it, I did add 30,000 to it from an investment I had. So it's technically about 70,000 worth of small profits, give or take. But it's now building up itself, because when I decided to dump the money into the Vanguard fully, we've obviously been caught on a good bull run over the last 18 months. It's fairly dumped some money in, so it's working for itself. Happy days. So for a trigger, is a rounded retest on a 50 stronger singer than a first attempt at a 50? The retest is normally the better of the two. Simply because when you see a market pushing, and they do, you know, it'll test something first. It'll come to a level and it'll push through it, but it'll push through just to see what's going on, and then it'll come back. Now, when it comes back, it's almost reloading up for the next push, and that next push is the better of the two. But that, again, that's where you kind of take a madness to a different level on that. And you see me, and it's called rack and stack, where you have multiple positions along the same level, and it'll push down maybe 10 pips, cash out, and then come back 10 pips. Well, if you've got a position sitting there waiting for it again on rack and stack, well, you can capitalize on the bounces till it then slams through. But again, you need position size to do it. Different ways of looking at things. So, you're very welcome, kid. Very welcome. Yesterday was insane. Up CHF by 720, came back to check, and boom, way down 50 points. Did you have your point of pain in? Did you know where you were getting out? You should always have that. You should look at that. A discount code for trade the pool. I'm sure there was one put on it, actually. I can't remember. There's certainly a code for the fibers which should filter over onto it. I need to check it, to be honest. I've not really checked that in a long time. I'm not a big share trader, in fairness. Not a fan of it. I was never very good at picking shares. You know, I don't mind an IPO, sort of like when the post office was getting sold off, that sort of thing. But I prefer baskets. So it's kind of why I stayed away from trade the pool. With skill set, if you pushed it, what percentage could you do? Well, I could do thousands of percent if I wanted to, but I won't. I'm often asked this. If you're good at something, why don't you bet the farm on the trade? Put everything into it. Could. And I'm tracking, well documented at 89%. But that means I've got 11% where I'm going to be wrong. And I'll guarantee that's the day I put a massive size on. So I'm happy with my 20 to 30% per year. I'm more than happy with that. I don't really look at percentages too much. I look at money because that's real to me. All right, I earn more than my base salary, but my base salary is work like this. Where I live, if you get 30 grand a year, that's deemed a good salary. And I've got no mortgage, no debt, nothing like that. Paid it all off. So 30,000 is just spending money to me. Well, I work on 48 weeks a year because I'm going to be wrong and I want time off. Because even when I'm on holiday, I'm going away for another week in February after the conference. I'll still be working. I'll take my rig with me. So about 48 weeks of the year. So I have 4 weeks off. All right. Well, 30 grand in 48. All right. And bear in mind, I only like to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's 3 days. It's about 600 quid, 200 quid a day. So 200 quid a day, 3 days, 600. Times that by 48. It's just on 30,000. That's how I work a base salary out. So I'm only looking for a couple hundred quid a day. Now, my size of account, percentage-wise, that's minimal. But it's enough for what I need. Now, some days I do 300, 400, 500 quid a day. And that pays off the days where I lose 300 quid. And that's the way I work it. So I kind of think of it slightly different. Happy days, happy days. So, where are we up to? You're trying. Smash the like. Yeah, very kind, very kind. You have an 𝗖𝗧 with 212. What's the best ETF index fund long-term ticker? Well, that's up to yourself, Bala. I'll never tell you your trade. I'll never do signals or anything like that. But what I'll tell you is what I have, which is different. Now, I don't use 212. I use Vanguard and I use the FTSE All Cap. Now, the FTSE All Cap, it has 7,000. Give us a second. Give us a second, I'll show you. I wasn't going to, but let me log into it off camera. Okay, right. All right. My investments. I use this one here as my main fund. It's a FTSE All Cap. Okay. Now, to find the ticker, I can't remember what it is, to be honest, but I'll find it for you. Right. So, global. Come down. I only use the index. I don't use the tracked. And I want accumulation rather than distribution. And then it'll bring you down into these, let's see, all world, 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧 all cap accumulation. That is there, okay? So 7,147 stocks, has a decent sort of risk factor in it, of 5, and its ticker is 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. That's the one that I use with most of my money. Now, with the other one, if I come down over onto the investments, this one is V3AB. What that's doing is that's where I'm putting the small money in, because I wanted to build a pot inside a pot that you could see from scratch. So it's the cash ISA and that one, and this one is because it's very cheap. It's like $5.20 as a cost, whereas the FTSE all cap is 230, whatever it was. It means there's potential growth in this, but it's emerging markets, so there's a high probability over the next few years it'll lift up. So that's what I do with that one. Well, you're right, Sandar, because ultimately I'm at the screen a lot, but I don't need to be. I'm normally at the screen for the guys in the squad. I'm done. I can be in and out by 10 o'clock in the morning, finish for the day, do what I want. And I'm starting to get that back. I'll work up to about 11 midday. If there's any questions, I'll stay and I'll get back. But on the afternoon, if I want to go cinema, I'll go cinema. You know, I'd rather do that than go stack groceries in Tesco's or whatever it is. If I want to go out for a walk, go for a walk, or go on holiday a lot. It's given me a lot of freedom, because that's what I trade for. I trade for freedom. And from that, makes me happy. And fortunately, we earn enough between us that we can live this life together. Joanne, for all she sees what I do, she doesn't like it, because she doesn't like the emotional side of it. So she has her own little vanguard, and she filters into that and looks after social media. So yeah, we have a good life, but we do it when we want to do it. And I think that's what this is for. Okay. It's wonderful. So I have a wonderful life, and I've got a wonderful wife. I genuinely do. Slammer wasn't impressed. You got out and profit. Good lad. Good lad. Your first job is to protect the account. Correct. And that's what I was talking about, the stops. The stops' only job is to protect it. And the next part of that is your position size. Your position size wrong, you can wipe an account out. Easily wipe an account out. I know, because I've done it. It's just one of them things. Okay, we use a line chart to mark levels, candles, read price. Any other form of candle pattern like Heiken Ash? Nope. I'm not saying that you can't use them if you're comfortable with them. Anybody who ever watches me trade, I keep everything standard to a degree. You know, I just use basic candlesticks, basic line charts. My indicators are basic. They're not fancy, because there isn't any. That's it. And then I trade what I see. You know, your time frame is important though, because if you're looking at a minute chart, which for me is ludicrous, you know, well, I'll rephrase that. It's okay for entry once you've got the idea in place. But if you're looking at a minute chart and trying to find a trade in that without doing your homework, that's just pure gambling, because the candles are flicking like this all the time. The red, the green, the red, the green, the red, the green. You've got no read on that market whatsoever. And then if you start to look at the candle patterns, head and shoulders, hanging man, all of these, means nothing on a low time frame. From an hour up into the monthlies, now you're talking. Now you are definitely talking. That will show you what the chart is up to. And I've just seen Julian popped in. Little Rhino. How you doing, kid? Lovely to hear from you. I was thinking about you the other day. I really was. I hope, are you settled in? Are you settled over in Bulgaria? I hope so. I genuinely hope you're settled. You're skiing. Right, I'll scrap everything I've just said about him. I hate the fucker. Good looking little git that he is. You're skiing. Well, oh, wow. I'm so pleased for you, kid. I really am. Right, sorry. Let me get back to this. Do what you love and the money will follow. You're damn right. In life, I've always done that. You know, well, I'm saying I've always done that. When I was in the blue chip sector, I fucking hated it, which is why sort of 25 years ago, I started my own business. And then I did do what I loved. It was hard in the start, but I got through it. Happy days. Smiler's eyes are burning, are they? I bet they are, kid. I bet they are. Looking forward to seeing you in a fortnight, kid. Really am. Looking forward to seeing that. Can you tell some tales about your journey when you started trading? What made you committed to staying to the journey? Well, there is a couple of videos of my life story, like how I became Scruffy trader. My journey into trading wasn't the same as yours. Well, it might be. Somebody might have done the same as me. I didn't know what a trader was when I first started. I came into trading by accident. Many, many moons ago, like I say, I'm 55 this year. When I was 30, I went off into the world of business on my own. And part of that business, because I've had multiple businesses through the years, and they were all under a single banner. So they had like little different divisions. But one of them was a mail order factory. And we used to import, export plastic injection molds. Now, at the time, I wasn't dealing with the wholesalers anymore. The company had grown over a couple of years, and we're going into sort of mid-2000s here. So it was a long time ago. I was in a meeting with a distributor, and I was trying to get the price down on some goods, and with one of his biggest clients at the time. And he turned around to me and he says, I can't do it. I'm like, come on, Pete, man, we've known each other for years. I'll buy more. Come on, pull your finger up. And he was having none of it. And he said, I can't do it. We're really on the bone. And I was like, well, why? You know, I mean, come on. I'm getting killed on price here. He says, well, we've got the exchange rate wrong. And I'm like, well, what's that got to do with the price of bread? I want to buy some goods here, you know, do it. And I had a guy work for me who was an ex-commercial bank manager. And he was in the meeting. And he said to Pete, he says, do you forward purchase by any chance? And Pete says, yeah, we do. And we got it wrong. Now, at this time, I hadn't a clue what these two were talking about. Not a Scooby-Doo. Anyway, he says, yeah, we got the exchange rate wrong and one thing and another. But it was one of the worst things he could have said to somebody like me. Because my brain immediately switched over and said, well, hang on a second here, Pete. If you can't do it when it's wrong, what about when you get it right? And he started to laugh because his little eyeball lit up and he thought, right, fuck me, I fell in the trap here. He says, yeah, we make some decent money. I says, well, I'll tell you what then. How about a retrospective discount and a cashback? And that was my first foray into trading. So I did a deal with him where if the exchange rate was right, I would increase my purchasing power. I think it was about 20% more we were going to buy for a 1% discount. And if I didn't hit the targets, he would get that 1% back. And we did it that way. And then I had the interesting conversation with sort of Jim about what we'd just done and what forward purchasing was, currency exchanges and all that. Because up until that point, just been buying shares in sort of British telecoms when they were selling off, and holiday exchanges when you change your euros for pounds or pounds for euros, right? That was my experience, and then he explained it and showed it. And then as the company grew, we outstripped the distributor, and we had to go to source ourselves in the Far East. And we're also dealing in Germany, Czechoslovakia, and Turkey as well. They don't want pound notes. So in the Far East, they want US dollars. So we ended up buying US dollars at the right time, which helped us buy the containers. And we were talking, sort of, I'll be looking to buy dollars in and around February, March time for something I had to pay for in August. So it was all about planning, and it's why I live on high time frames. And when the company closed in 2017 after Brexit and various other forces, I found I was really good at this. And it was a skill set I had from industry. And being 47 at the time, I do have nerve damage in this hand. I'll have it for the rest of my life. And let's be honest, I don't play well with others. I don't like being told what to do. Who's going to employ me? No fucker. So I do what anybody else does when they lose everything. You either sit in the corner and suck your thumb, or you dust yourself off and start again. And that's what I did. So from zero, started again, little by little, boom, 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 built it back up. And I live a humble life. You know, I just live in a normal house. It's not a flash house. Drive a second-hand car, but it's a nice car. But I go on holiday more than anybody. And it's all through hard work and building up. And it's why when somebody comes at me crying that they've got no money, they've got no idea what it is to have no money. We literally lost everything overnight. And I had to rebuild it, and nobody else does. So that's why I have a real claw in my throat about freeloaders. So there you go. So that was my journey. And YouTube started because, well, it's a visual representation of my journal. And somebody said it'd be a good idea to put it on screen. And, well, skip forward quite a few years. Here we are. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. Right. Last one. Then I'm going to go get some lunch, I think. Rocks. Which prop firm is good? I only ever talk about the fivers. It's the only prop firm I would truly consider. And that's it. They've got a moral compass, and they've paid me every single month. Oh, shit. It's logged out. Happy days. They paid me every month that I've been there, and that's well documented through. And that's it. And ultimately, it's like everything else. Doesn't matter how big your account is, doesn't matter what. It's how much you bank. That's what's important. You know, and that's what the Vanguard's all about. It's showing you. You do this, you get that. Hope that kind of makes sense. So, been banging on for however long. Actually, I've got no idea how long I've been banging on. But did I start this at 11 o'clock? Fucking hell, an hour and a half. Jesus Christ. And I've only just started swearing now. How good is that? Well, it's not good, actually. I keep getting wrong off Winky. She keeps telling me to stop it. Never mind. I'm not a mentor, Gooner. Not at all. I'm just a guy on a camera, that's all. It's the guy on a camera. Can I tell you the magic secrets? Not really. Can I tell you when it's wrong? Definitely. But if I was to leave you with some advice, if you're taking 10 trades in a day, half it. Take 5. Just simply half everything you're doing. If you're putting on £1 a point, drop it to 50 pence. And what you'll find is your stress levels will come right down, but your bank balance will move right up. Because if you're taking trade after trade after trade and sitting in front of this camera thinking, do you know something? I'm here, where's me trade? That's the one that'll kill you. And once you get into it, you'll try and get out of it. And that trying to get out of it creates more anxiety. The more anxiety you have, the more pressure you put on yourself. and all the while you're killing your account. Whereas if you were traded once or twice and you waited for the right setup, you'd be fine. I'd rather have $1 a day than lose $20 a day. Simple as that. Happy days. Okay, kid. I'll let you scoot. Drop in the comments underneath it. Let me know if this has been helpful. I'll never script these things. I'll just flick it on and just have a bit chat with you. Normally on a Saturday morning, because Winky likes to go off shopping. There's a fucking shocker in it. And especially when she was going to see my daughter. Oh, fucking hell, that's a recipe for disaster. Because every time I see her, have you got? Can you give? Can you shut up? Never mind. I've got the grandkids today, so fuck me, I'm going to be well happy. So, have yourselves a good one, kids. Drop in the comments whether you like it. Do email me if you're stuck. I always answer you. And if you want to come along to the squad, you'd be made most welcome. But what I do say is, I'm very blunt at this. If you're woke, argumentative, or easily offended, don't come. Because one, if you're easily offended, our jokes will get out of hand. We're not a woke culture, so there's none of that sort of bullshit. And if you're argumentative, I will tell you to fuck off. That's simple. And you know why? Because if you're upsetting the group, I don't give a monkeys. And that's the way to be. And you'll see it. People don't like it. And personally, I don't give a shit. So, happy days. And away we go. What's that? Do live? I don't use 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗘𝗖𝗧, my friend. I really don't. I'll look at it next week, see what can be. But I trade what I think is possible of winning. I won't go into the market unless I'm pretty much 100% certain of it. That's right. I nearly escaped there. Rocks. Right. I don't mind going into markets to trade, and I'll often tell you guys, pick the market. But when you see me go to market, I'll only press the trigger when I'm 100% confident with it. Now, I went in to do a breakdown the other day on pound JPY and oil for that matter, but I didn't press the button. And the reason I didn't press the button is because the elements weren't ready. But you got people chewing at the bit going, oh, I've got to get in, I've got to get in, I've got to get in. And it doesn't matter about the indicator. The indicator can only tell you what's happened in the past and give you an idea of what the future is going to be. So don't rely heavily on the indicator. Use it just to get a good gauge of what's going on, and then use your level to get to market. Now the question is the momentum behind that market when it comes to that level? If the momentum isn't there, it's going to go sideways. And unless you're ready for a sideways market, you're going to lose, and you'll lose badly. Because what if it breaks out and you were expecting it to come to the bottom of the market, or vice versa? You don't know. I prefer to see it in a moving trend. And if gold is like that, I'll look at it. But the 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗖𝗧 will only be a guide. It wouldn't be a trigger. I hope that makes sense in a strange way. But in answer to your question, yes, sometime next week, I'll find time. I'll pull the 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗖𝗧 cloud up and I'll take you through it. But don't rely heavily on it. It's one of the few that tries to predict the future, but it's not as accurate as you think it is. As none of them are. Okay, kids. Right. We'll leave it at that. It's been a pleasure. And oh no. Hold on.
Oh no.
Hey, I'm glad you're here. Look at this. Squad bought that for me.
Oh.
Then I thought it was you with one of your like shopping escapades. Did you see your face there?
I haven't shopped since December.
You need to be careful because this is live. Wait, you haven't shopped since December, you lying bitch.
I only bought some candles.
Oh, I'm sorry. The photographic evidence in the squad the other day, that wasn't you, was it not? That was sort of like an alternate woman. Look at the lying bitch.
I forgot about that actually.
But how cool is
Yeah,
that?
yeah, brilliant. Where are you going to put it?
Up your ass.
No, over there.
I asked, yeah, might have to actually. But I'm really chuffed at that. I'm really chuffed at that. Right, boys and girls. Sorry about that. Starting again. Okay. Have yourselves a good one. Right, finally, if you're starting from scratch, would you recommend Rogue Plus if you read? Right. When it comes to the group, I never recommend where you come into it. Well, I got me coffee. Well done, girl. Yes, I've made a mess. I'm sorry. I don't get the money from the group, which a lot of people think I do. I don't. YouTube own it. I get paid a very small commission for supplying the videos, and the Discord is mine, and that's just an added bonus if I like it. Because if I don't like it, you're fucking out. That's simple. Say. It depends on what you want. I have recently arranged to streamline it so that there's the YouTube tip, which is exactly what it says it is, and you get early release to the videos, and I'll answer all your sort of comments first, all that sort of stuff. And then it's down to 3 levels. There's the 1. I only take a couple of people on the 1 at a time, where it's all the benefits of everything, but I'll also do a private session with you once a month to keep you going. There's Rogue Plus, which has everything within it, and you also have access to the modules that I put together. I didn't want to do a course or sell a course. I still don't, but I put 50 odd modules of how I trade in Rogue Plus. Now, if you go on the website, you can get it as a bulk, because certain people can't access YouTube membership, so it was put in there solely for that reason. And you also get the replays of all of the live sessions that we do. Okay, and we go to market every day, so you can, if you miss the chat, you can catch up with the replays, and then you've got the whole catalogue. And bloody hell, there's 4,000 of these videos, plus God knows how many. Well, we go every day, and have been doing it for 3 years, so do the math as to how many live streams there is. And then Rogue is all the videos. There's strategy videos across the board, Discord, and you can still come in the live streams if you want. But the difference between them is, if you still can't put it together, the Plus with the modules will spoon feed you. And the idea is, you go into Plus, you go through the modules, and once you're comfortable, you just drop it down a level, and you save a few quid, but you still got access to everything as well. I hope that kind of makes sense. And it's run, all the videos are on YouTube, as well as in the Discord, and that's it. So happy days. And there's a bar in the Discord as well, where you can talk face to face all day if you so wish. So there you go, kids. Happy days. So hope that helps. Didn't want to end it on a sales pitch, because like I say, I'm not a teacher. The group came from organic beginnings. It was never planned, and it just grew into what it is today. And now I've just streamlined it into them top 3 levels, and it seems to work. That's the way it is. And then the lower levels, they're just gonna, once they're gone, they're gone. Happy days. All right, kids. Catch me soon.